This podcast is brought to you by Men's T Clinic. Men's T Clinic is the team I trust with my total wellness optimization, and so should you. 5 DFW locations with North Frisco, El Dorado Parkway at Dallas North Tollway now open. Call 972-GO-MEN'S-T or visit mensteclinic.com.
The difference between an agent and a realtor is real. Realtors have the expertise to find exactly what you need and the ethics to do the right thing, even when it's the harder thing. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
All right, it's hour number 2 of the G-Bag Nation here on 105 through the Fan. How much do the stats the Cowboys put up matter to you as a team, the offense? And, Dak Prescott, I think, applies there as well. At 877-881-1053, that is the truckwreck.com text line. Okay, and we'd appreciate it on here if you'd leave your name and city you're texting from. Let's get some good conversation going.
Yeah, we got Texas Tolo, Carson84, and McKeever all listening on Twitch. So
right
hello to them. Appreciate those guys.
Yeah, get that Twitch app. It's quite a resource for staying connected here.
I'm answering questions during the break.
Oh,
there are a lot of folks are asking me about the combines and stuff like that. So hit that if you want to do it.
We have a Mike McCarthy cut here for you in just a second. 903 says the boss left early, so I'm listening to the Fan while at work. Tolo, salute to you. Salute to that boss as well for leaving early. It's fantastic. Cut 2. He covers some different ground in here, but listen to how Mike McCarthy talked about on if he regrets not getting Tony Pollard more touches in 2021.
I don't have any issues with how we approached the season last year. I think the start of our season is a reflection of us maximizing our off season. I think it's a reflection of a really good training camp. My 1 and 2 focuses, for this team going forward is obviously, the penalties and adversity football. So those are the 2 areas that are a primary focus for us. So as far as do we use this guy enough, that guy enough, I think it's convenient criticism. Frankly, I think if you look at our numbers of productivity, we're top in the league in a lot of categories. So, now how can we do that again? But, I'm not as interested in being the number 1 ranked offense in the National Football League. We need to be the number 1 complementary offense. So, and I think we've accomplished that clearly in my second year as opposed to the first year.
So, as far as did we use this guy enough or that guy enough, it's convenient criticism. He says if you look at our numbers.
Stop that.
Okay.
No, stop that, Mike.
All right.
Yeah, stop that.
Okay.
Oh, come on.
To me, it's hiding behind numbers.
Yeah, don't do this.
He himself even realized moments later, you can't hide behind those numbers. We got to play better complementary football. Yeah. He knows those numbers are hollow, but he just used them to defend using Zeke so much more than Tony Pollard. It really is startling. I can only hope, Brian, that they as a coaching staff know we can't get rid of Zeke because of his contract.
Sure.
So we got to stick with him and support him because we don't want him to be dead man walking on his own team.
Yes, he is. Mike McCarthy and his staff were saddled with Zeke. It wasn't Mike McCarthy's fault that Zeke was paid the contract. It was the front office. The front office extended him. The front office gave him this money. Mike is... he's trying to make, Mike even came out, if we remember Hard Knocks, Mike's like standing next to Stephen Jones. Man, you guys give him the ball a lot. He's got a lot of touches.
Yeah.
I got to monitor that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Don't I?
Yeah.
And maybe Mike McCarthy wanted to play Zeke less. And Stephen Jones and Jerry Jones and others said, no. It goes back to the whole thing with Jason Garrett. Hey, guys, every time you're putting together the game plan, hey, remember you got 21. Remember that. You got 21. Remember when you're putting the game plan? 21. Come on. See, when your offensive line is not blocking worth a damn, how about putting a guy in there that can make people miss?
Yeah.
They can maybe, Zeke could not make people miss. The whole year I told you he wasn't hurt. They come out and tell me he's hurt. He's hurt.
Bro, would the front office really go in there and tell you who needs to play? Like,
you
kind of nudge you just a little bit to that?
You know what?
That's wild.
The general manager is the owner. And Stephen Jones is now essentially the general manager.
Yeah, most GMs don't care about you making money on your marketing and your jersey sales.
They don't care. They don't care. They just care about winning. And it's like, then as a general manager, you make points to your coach. It's like, you guys thought about playing Pollard more? Because we're not blocking well enough.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden it might be, well, man, we need Zeke. We need Zeke's toughness, don't we? Don't we need Zeke's toughness? That's the suggestion.
Your
you would make.
suggestion is a direction, basically.
Yeah. It's like, listen, if you really want your job, you might want to listen to what I'm asking you here.
Well, maybe Mike knows there's nothing he can do about it, so he might as well defend Zeke because he is in this situation that many Cowboys coaches have found themselves in.
He might be doing it for Jerry.
I'm powerless. Yeah, I have to have Jerry's back on this one, and maybe that's part of what's really starting to grind his gears.
I don't know how you could sit there and watch this offense and he could talk about production. Yeah, for 8 weeks, you guys were one of the best in the league. The last 10, you weren't good enough moving the football unless you were playing somebody that didn't play their players.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
So at 877-881-1053, does the great stats that they put up last year tell you that this team is capable of great things? Or does the situations that the production didn't come in show you that this thing is in desperate need of some major fixes?
Yeah.
Because if you're going to sit up there and say, oh, no, we're good because of our numbers, then that tells me you don't know how bad it is. You're only looking at the good, which happened against a bunch of crap teams, and ignoring the bad for whatever reason. And if that's the case, then how can you get excited about what's going to happen in 2022?
Sure. Yeah.
You have to be looking at it like, guys, I'm going to say this stuff publicly, but as we get ready for these games, I need 2 Pollard carries for every 1 Zeke. And we'll get to Zeke when it's 3rd and long and it's obvious we're going to pass and we need his pass protection. Okay? Other than that, we're going to give it to him when Tony Pollard is tired. And if it plays out that Tony Pollard can't keep getting 1.5 yards more per carry than Zeke, which he did last year, then we'll make an adjustment from there. But we can't go into this season expect different results. And guys, we have to seriously soup up this offensive line as well. Yep. If their actions don't execute that during the offseason, Brian, I don't know how I'm going to be anything other than indifferent about expectations for 2022.
The expectations, I think Luce just asked a really good question about the front office stuff. And, I don't know if you're the front office. The questions I would be asking are, okay, why are we what's our situation with the offensive line coach? Do you feel like we could be a little bit better there? We changed out the defensive coordinator. We changed out the linebacker coach. We changed out the secondary coach. Is there something we need to be doing more instead of talking about Zeke? What do we need to do with this offensive line? And that's the thing that to me, Mike McCarthy, if they roll this thing back and it's the same, the Kellen Moore and the offensive line coach and, some of the offense, they say, what, we're okay with our offensive line. We're not going to draft anybody high or plug and play any of these guys. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not going to expect great things. And you let Coop walk and you let Wilson walk and you let Gallup walk. I'm not going to sit there and be a cheerleader for you on your offense if that's the case.
No, I think the offense is in major disrepair. 510 says, guys, you also have a quarterback who is already worried that his line won't hold up.
Yeah.
Watch Pollard get Cooper Rush killed that game in Minnesota. Well, that's going to happen. Running backs are going to miss blocks. I would look at that and say we can't base running back snaps off of who's the best protector. We need a new offensive line or maybe a tight end that can help.
Well, that's what you just said. You offered a solution. You said it's 3rd and long. Put Zeke in there and let him blitz protect.
Yeah.
If you feel that badly about Pollard, I personally would like to take the chance of putting Pollard in there and swing the ball to him. Yeah. If they're going to blitz me and rush me and all that,
throw over the top of the blitzer's head.
I'm going to swing it back. I'm going to try and get the ball to the outside. I'm not going to sit there and let Dak get killed because Tony Pollard's in the game.
Yeah, this is what gets frustrating about this team because you're looking at these things and it's like, are these coaches really not paying attention, or do they have to do this as part of keeping the job? And I don't think somebody like Mike McCarthy just isn't watching any film of his own game. Yeah. That's part of the job. You can see who the better ball carriers right now, and it's not even close. 616 says Hall of Fame stats against less than 500 teams, mediocre against everyone else. And that's going to happen. You're going to pad your stats against the bad teams, but their record is, essentially winless. While the Bengals and other contenders are going out there and winning 5 or 6 games against playoff teams, you beat 2, and they were like the 2 worst playoff teams in all of the postseason.
Yeah, from the Twitch, Rob Starr says, I like McCarthy, but since the season has ended and coming down the stretch, it seemed like he didn't want to accept any of the blame.
Yeah.
I mean, that honestly, that kind of like, you know,
Yeah.
it really was that kind of that way where it's like, you know, he was
looking for a way to explain it.
Exactly.
I think,
Always looking for trying to explain it, saying, you know, well, hey, you know, I mean, he should come under criticism for the penalties and stuff. He really should, because to me, when you're not a disciplined team, that falls on the coach.
Yeah.
You know, that's the coaches. The coach has to find a way to say, listen, we can't play guys that get penalties. We can't. Yeah. They took Connor Williams out. What did they do? They put Connor Williams back in.
You know, I think something has happened in football with the invasion of these stats over the last decade, and some of them are very, very valuable. But when you take like big chunks of stats and they don't have any context, I think it's really, really dangerous. You know, like with how efficient the offense is, you can use it to delude yourself into thinking the team is set up for great things in 2022. Mm-hmm. You know, and I don't think that the team is doing that, but they keep saying things like, oh, yeah, I don't have any problem with the way that we prepared for 2021 because if you look at how we played the first 7 weeks, that tells you how well we prepared. Yeah, until the defense has made an adjustment. And what really is required to continue winning in the NFL is being able to make adjustments to those adjustments, which you desperately failed at.
They were in a situation where it wasn't anything really exotic that people were doing to them. You know, in ways, if you know, we've done shows before talking about Kurt Warner breaking down. It's like, hey, this is pretty simplistic that they're struggling with this stuff. You know, that to me doesn't bode very well.
The adversity Mike McCarthy wants to help with is getting over blaming the refs, says the 469. I know you're right. I was wondering last hour, what is that adversity about? Yeah. And I think you just nailed it, 469, that it's the officiating ganging up on him. Come on, man. You can't even run the ball, you know. You can't even be balanced with that much resources. I don't even know what kind of context to put last year of Dak Prescott in, because again, the stats will say, "Oh, look at this. How are you going to be critical of this?" But if you just watch the games, like, football's not so complicated.
It's not.
You can tell who's making the good decisions and who's getting a surge on what line of scrimmage.
Absolutely can.
You know, if you're just really dialed in and looking at the TV hard and trying to be objective, right? I mean, there's a lot of Zeke fans out there that can't be objective, and they watch him run and they think he's running a 4.2 and making everybody miss still, because that's what he did to Ohio State and they love him so much. But if you can really be objective and check your emotions a little bit, football is like, when you want to scout like who the best college players are and really get into all the details of the position to try to determine who's going to make the jump and be great at the next level, you have to have a trained eye. But when you're watching NFL teams play NFL teams and it's like, hey, who's really good at this? It's just a sport.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. You don't need some former scout telling you that. You can watch. You can see when a back doesn't hit the hole. Or you could see when a back doesn't have explosiveness. Or you could see when an offensive lineman doesn't get his block, or a tight end is standing next to the pile and it's his guy that's tackled the guy for a -2.
Yeah.
You could see that with your own eyes. You don't even have to be trained to do that to understand some of the problems this football team has.
817 in all caps, I strongly feel TP is being overrated right now.
Tony Pollard, okay.
I don't think there's any evidence of that. I mean, you're looking at a guy with breakaway speed that can hit the hole way faster than Zeke.
Just, if anything, the times where they've handed him the ball, it's been more explosive than Zeke, right?
Yeah, big plays.
It's the media narrative. People are mad at the media narrative that Pollard's better than Zeke and Pollard needs more carries and whatnot. People get so upset about that.
That's a good point.
Yeah, you know, it's understandable. The media narratives can get annoying. You know, I get it. But I don't know if there's any real evidence that Pollard's overrated. If anything, his own team's underrating him. Stats are a joke, says the 858. The Cowboys' offense against over 500 was a nightmare, borderline unwatchable. Stats be damned. That's from Krusty Adam. All righty. Thanks for your interaction here on the Autoflex Leasing fan text and the spirited conversations. What, Lucius?
What'd you call it? The auto?
Oh. The truckwreck.com text line.
Make sure you leave that jar here next time. So we all need some gas money, bro.
Bro, I'm just going to leave my debit card.
Lucius has just upgraded his cigars now.
Yeah. I'm almost out of ones. I'm going to have to head back to baby dolls. I got a big old stack of them. No, I've been throwing money in this jar. I'm gonna contribute it to the charity of choice there for our friends the Frankels over there, truckwreck.com. Mavs do visit the Lakers tonight. It is a 9:00 tip on TNT. The Lakers are losers of 5 of 6.
The Lakers are losers.
Yeah, including a 28-point defeat to the Pelicans on Sunday.
What?
The Lakers fans are booing them.
Yeah.
Luka has struggled against the Lakers during his career, and he's coming off what we can presume as a late night celebrating last night. That's the real test on how mature you are.
Doncic was out there in LA?
Yeah. At least it's not Fupa Doncic anymore.
Okay.
But if he's bad and hungover tonight, that's embarrassing. You can't do that as a pro, can you? I don't care if it's your birthday. I'll give you one for your 21st birthday. That's it.
That's it.
That's it. I can't have you hungover in an 80. We're tied right now with the Nuggets for the 5 seed.
Yeah.
You can't go out and get hammered in LA. If you're going to go get hammered, and many pro athletes have done it over the years.
Yeah.
You have to be good enough that you can drink water or do your IVs in the morning and come out and ball.
Yeah.
But I can't be like, oh, sorry, coach, I'm hungover. It was my birthday last night. What are you, 8? You had too much ice cream?
It's the Lakers. He could be hungover and beat the Lakers.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so. He
Listen to me talk.
He needs to have a good game against the Lakers.
Yeah.
Looks like a damn fanboy out there most days looking at LeBron like he wants his autograph. I love Luka, though.
The difference between an agent and a realtor is real. Realtors have the expertise to find exactly what you need and the ethics to do the right thing, even when it's the harder thing. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
Some fans gear up for game day, but some fans follow their team every day. That's why the Locked On Podcast Network has a daily podcast for your favorite MLB team. Every trade, every overtime win, every game. Our local experts cover the biggest stories around your team every day. Search Locked On plus your favorite MLB team on the Odyssey app or wherever you get podcasts. The Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Highland Contractors, Rochester's roofing, repair, and replacement expert, is growing and now serving the Finger Lakes region, offering the highest quality craftsmanship and customer service. Highland Contractors has 0% financing options with payments to fit any budget. When it's time to repair or replace your roof, trust the pros at Highland Contractors, your GAF Master Elite contractor, serving Rochester and now the Finger Lakes region. Call today for your free estimate online at highlandcontractors.com.